Hi, I'm Barbara from Bee's Kitchen and Garden. Today is a garden segment. I am not a master gardener, but I know what works for me, and I'm going to share it because I think this will also help those of you who are interested, especially in these times, in planting a garden or a small garden or a pot. So let's start with what I've done already. I save containers from takeout food. This is one that I bought spinach in, and doesn't cost me a thing. And so I have ready-made places to put my dirt for my planting. I have one glove on because I don't like to get dirt under my fingernails, so I don't need two. First thing we're going to do is put some dirt in this particular shallow pan. Now, an important thing to remember is how much depth do your roots need for what you're planting. For example, spinach and lettuce do not need a whole lot of root depth. Pat that down. Now I'm going to water, and I use this hand to mix it in. Okay, now what does that do for us? Well, you can see here previously I planted some lettuce seed, and I use the top to cover it. It gives a environment of its own, so that, as you can see here with our parsley, it rains on itself. It keeps the water inside like a terrarium. So this is the lettuce that I've planted before. Lettuce doesn't need a lot of root depth. I want to show you how small the lettuce seeds are, which is why it sort of looks scattered. It's almost impossible to space these seeds out, so I'm going to pour some in my hand. That's how small the lettuce seeds are. Very difficult to plant. So what you're going to have to do, and I'll show you in another video, is you're going to have to separate them out or just get rid of those that are growing too close together so you get some nice healthy plants. Okay, let's take a look at what our lettuce seeds have done. I planted these about 12 days ago, and look how beautifully they've sprouted. But you notice each of the seeds has come up with 2 leaves. Those are the baby leaves. You don't want to do anything yet. What I'm going to do is wait until they have their real leaves, and then I'm going to thin them out. Let's look at our parsley. Here you can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's some green touching the lid. Once a bunch of the plants start getting that tall, you take off the lid, and you can leave it open, and you make sure you put it in the sun, and you make sure that you water it, because now the dirt is going to dry out. It doesn't have that closure with a terrarium effect. So the lettuce has already been watered once, and here's the parsley coming in. I planted them both at the same time. Look how quickly the lettuce came up. The parsley takes its time. Compared to the lettuce seeds, take a look at these spinach seeds. They're going to be easier to separate and plant, so that I don't have to put as many in to get good plants out. Let's plant the spinach in the wet dirt that I've already prepared. I sort of twist my finger a little bit and let them drop out. Put a few more. Not all of them will take, but most of them will. Okay, pat them in. This looks like it has a little bit of water, so a little bit too much water, so I'm gonna leave the lid off and not do my closed environment until some of this water has had a chance to dry out. Okay, now we've got it filled with dirt. Let's add our water. This time I won't add quite as much. This soil is a little bit damp already, so I don't need to overwater. I'll just do a bit and mix it in nice mud pies. If you like mud pies, this is so much fun. And the one of the secrets to good plants, vegetables or flowers, is your dirt. Your dirt's a very important part of your planting. For this container, as you can see, it also has an airtight lid, so we'll do the same process, and we are going to plant zucchini. Now, those of you that like to eat pumpkin seeds, guess what? They're baby pumpkin seeds. At least that's what they look like because they're all squash family. Okay, so I'm going to take one. Looks like I got 2 here. That's okay. And push it in, cover it with dirt, and let's do some more in this container. I tend to plant in 2 rows. That's just my habit. And we'll see what comes up and what happens. So what we need to do now is cover this one. It's done. And it will go in the windowsill inside. This one I'm going to put in the windowsill but leave open a little bit so that the water can dry out. Then I'll put the cover on it. And these 2 are ready to go. Now the difference between what I do and what you might hear other people say is I do not have holes in the bottom so that it can drain. However, if I'd like to reuse things, so I didn't want to put holes in it. But what you can do is put holes in it, take the lid and put it underneath, and that gives you a nice place for watering without overwatering. And that's our gardening segment for this morning, how to start your seeds. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.